When we were first introduced to Ant-Man, I didn't expect anything serious to really come from his character because, he's always intended to be a funny character, but I was really surprised by this movie because it actually introduced a serious aspect to Ant-Man and he faced a very strong, serious foe, so I thought this movie was just a great kickstart to Phase 5. A lot of things to like about this movie. I just really thought a lot of beautiful imagery in the movie, a lot of beautiful cinematic moments. The quantum realm is just extremely beautiful. Just the use of CGI and how they made a whole world and all these different colors and monsters and creatures, and it was really, really beautiful. And also I liked all the new characters and new species we got to see. It really was a mix of like Star Wars with Avatar a little bit, but I lean more towards Star Wars. A lot of like Star Wars like characters that I just really enjoyed seeing kind of this side to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we got to explore the world of the Quantum Realm and how just it holds so many secrets and so many different things that I know we're going to be going back someday, and I hope to see even more. I liked how they incorporated more of Cassie in this movie. I did have a hope that she would kind of be introed as Stinger or some journey to push her towards being an Avenger. She definitely played a pretty big role in this movie, I'd say. She's definitely showing promise that they will probably showcase her being an Avenger sooner rather than later, I'd say, because she had a suit. They gave her a suit, and it was the exact kind of suit that she had in the comics as Stinger, as a purple suit. So I think that was kind of like a subtle nod to, Cassie Lang's future. So I'm really, really excited for that. When it came to like comic book accuracy, I would say the most comic book accurate was Kang's outfit was on point. And he was the biggest thing about this movie. The thing I was most excited was for Kang the Conqueror. Jonathan Majors has just been doing really well these last couple of years with movies, and I was just so excited to see him acting, and he just has this really demanding presence and a really great voice, and he's a very dynamic actor and the perfect guy to cast to play Kang. I can't wait to see more of him in the future. This is just a kickstart to see more Kangs, but he just did a phenomenal job. He had some really great lines, but also had some really great points about time, and it made you think very differently about time in this movie. We got to see some cool little cameo appearances. Bill Murray was in it for a short time. It's always great seeing him. He's a great comedian. This movie is definitely a mix of like comedy and seriousness. I know Marvel has been really struggling, it seems, lately with most of their content is just too funny, and they're kind of trying to get back to a more serious tone. But overall, like, there's a lot of hate towards the movie in certain aspects, and I admit it's not as strong as it could be, but overall it was a really enjoyable movie, and I had a lot of positive thoughts about it, and just really a lot of excitement around it. Amazing, cool things, a lot of things that I just didn't see coming. MODOK was awesome to see. That was another big positive. MODOK, anyone who knows the comics knows who MODOK is. Just seeing Corey Stahlbeck voicing MODOK, it was just a really awesome character. He's definitely a pretty big threat in the comics, and it was cool that he teamed up with Kang. I felt honestly that the storyline was kind of lacking. One part that kind of always annoyed me a little bit was Janet was talking about she had all these secrets about the quantum realm and whatever. It took her so long to say all this stuff. Why couldn't you tell us this way in the beginning of the movie, not like halfway through the movie? And then also I did feel that there were some times there wasn't a need for like comedy, or it felt like there were times where they just need to push funny stuff. It just didn't seem to really add anything to the movie. Like, Marvel doesn't have to be all funny. A lot of people had problems with Thor Love and Thunder being too funny. I wouldn't say Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was walking that line, but there were occasionally some times when like they didn't even need that scene in the movie. They're just trying to make something funny. Like, it's not all jokes. Not every 5 minutes has to be filled with jokes. But really just like character development with a couple things. Bill Murray, as awesome as he is, his character kind of was boring. I don't know, it just lacks something. I was hoping for a little more from his character, but just a short little cameo appearance. I was happy enough to see him in the movie. There were just open-ended stuff that happened that definitely did leave me wanting more, and I know this movie isn't going to touch on all the aspects of Kang and the Kang Dynasty. This is just the movie that kickstarted, so I'm not ripping on the movie for lack thereof of Kang and more stuff on him. We got a pretty good detailed description of how we got there, who he is, his intentions. I mean, all of it was pretty well explained, really well fleshed out. But I just felt that this movie could have been better. I was really excited to see this movie. It's definitely not a disappointment for me. There are a few people out there who think this movie was really bad. Disappointment, could have been better. I agree on certain aspects, but overall this movie was really, really fun. I'm definitely going to go see it again. I enjoyed it, and I hope you all go out and see it too, because it's a good enough Marvel movie for you to at least see one time. My excitement didn't really go down. The hype was still there. KANG stole the show. I mainly did watch it for KANG, and he did not disappoint at all. So if you are going to just see it for KANG, it is well worth it. So for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 Mudflaps. And before you go, drop in the comments below, what is your favorite KANG variant? And as always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll see you next time.